Hello and welcome to this late morning taste challenge, well, mid-morning taste challenge. We have Bellows Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. The company Bellows, founded in 1830. True story, not some fictional thing. This is obviously from Kentucky, but it is bottled in St. Louis, Missouri by Luxco, who owns Bellows these days. Bellows got bought out and was owned by the Jim Beam Company, but they sold it to Luxco in 2015, all the recipes and the rights to the name and that. Mellowed 4 years in oak barrels, a name of honor established 1830. Bellows, cursive B and print B. We got a cursive B and a print B. William Bellows. And there's a background yellow painting of a wagon, a trailer full of wheat, hay, horses pulling it, some people at a farm, a house or a barn, and some other farm equipment. So I don't know what that's supposed to be. All right, Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, bottled by Bellows and Company, St. Louis, Missouri. But it's Luxco. I'll put the link below. Luxco, named after our man Lux, who helped start the company, and now owned by Midwest Grain Products. This is bottle size here is 1 liter. A 1 liter bottle, and I bought this at Savannah discount for $5.99. I'm not making that up. In 2018, I bought that bottle 4 years ago. Savannah discount on Louisiana Highway 45, northbound, Marrero, Louisiana, $5.99. Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. That is not a made-up story. Now, here's a competitor, not as cheap, but pretty cheap. Jethro Tea Boots, introduced in 2014. You might recognize this bottle. Yes, it is a Sazerac Buffalo Trace standard bottle. You get it. We'll explain that sticker in a minute. You get these bottles with Ancient Age 10-star, McAfee's, Benchmark, Bourbon, Canadian Hunter, Canadian whiskey, Hunter Rye, Canadian Hunter Rye whiskey, and some others, I guess. On the back it says, intended for sale at CVS Pharmacy, if found elsewhere, call. And there's a number. So this is a private label. It's only supposed to be sold at CVS Pharmacy. Yes, they sell liquor. And they do in my town. They do in other towns around here. It's got this like fine grain sandpaper texture. Jethro Titus Boots, a real man. I don't know if that's a fanciful story. It might be exaggerated or whatever. They're showing a badge, Town Marshal. He was a forefather of bourbon of sorts, carefully selecting grains and barrels. So I really don't know anything about him. Genuine sour mash aged to perfection, crafted in the time-honored tradition. Kentucky's finest. You're telling me this is the best bourbon you can get from Kentucky, and it only cost me $8.99? $8.99 at CVS Pharmacy with the CVS card. You got to have that, but that doesn't cost anything, so why not get it? The Legacy Distilling Company is Sazerac, but if they sell any brands at CVS, it's going to say the Legacy Distilling Company. It's not going to say Sazerac, but we know it is. I can even prove that. Well, do I need more proof than the bottle? But there's a registry the U.S. government has of all the alias names, what they call assumed names of liquor companies. They're allowed to have an assumed name as long as they register it with the Tax and Trade Bureau and they keep track of who's making it. So they do the same thing with food. They'll have some brand, but then it'll make you think that it's a separate company, like it's an independent company, but it really isn't. It's sort of like deceitful. It's a deception, but it's not a fraud because You see, they don't make any like special claims. You could just do the research and find out that it is part of Sazerac or part of Midwest Grain Products. The law doesn't look at it like it's on the company to tell you everything. The law looks at it like, no, it's on your end to find out. They're both golden, so the appearance doesn't matter. They're both golden. They're both aged 4 years. One is sour mash bourbon, one isn't. So that could make a difference. Otherwise, it is going to be tough. So, back to the law, it's like they're telling you it's sour mash Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're telling you it's 80 proof. They don't list an age statement, which by default means it's at least 4 years old. Now you say, well, as a consumer, how am I supposed to know that? The attitude of the United States government is, well, go do the research. If you're not concerned about it, go find out. But generally, no one cares, Now, Bellows tells you, they meaning Luxco, meaning Midwest Grain Products, see how it works. They're saying it's aged 4 years. Okay. They're telling you they bottle it in St. Louis, Missouri. Now, where is it made in Kentucky? Well, most probably at Luxco Distillers. And I know a lot of their stuff was contracted. It was contract bourbon because they didn't really have their facilities built yet. But they would tell you right there on their website where they said they were working to get it totally independent. We just don't have the capacity right now. They make products like Ezra Brooks. They're all Ezra Brooks straight bourbon. They make a Ezra Brooks blended bourbon, which I've seen like once. And I said, I'll get it some other time, but then I never saw it again. So then they make 100 proof. They make a a small batch, a single barrel, and so forth. Holiday, what they call that, eggnog thing, liqueur, eggnog blend. There's Luxco bourbons, specialty, more expensive. So, and then there's really inexpensive ones like this, what I'm showing you right now, Bellows, which I can't even get in this town. I've never seen it in my town. Not in a store. I saw it in a restaurant once. Okay, the blended, the Bellows Club whiskey blend. Oh, well. Now, Jethro T. Boots are bought it 1 mile away at CVS. So you can still buy really cheap products in this JB inflationary period. It shouldn't be like that, though. It's their fault. They chose, I'm talking about them, the government people. They chose the Congress to inflate the money supply with their reckless spending. They chose that. It wasn't forced upon them. All right. And like somebody said, that's the worst type of tax, inflation, because everybody has to pay it. And the ones who can least afford it, the lower classes got to pay it. They live paycheck to paycheck. You'd be lucky if they got $1,000 in the bank savings. They don't budget. They don't understand what budget is. They get their money from payday loans. They're being preyed on by these type of outfits. So then, they sell lottery tickets to all of them. They always be buying lottery tickets, and so and now they're being saddled with the higher prices to pay for the free stuff they got. So it's like a vicious cycle. You got all these stimulus payments. It's free. Yeah, but it's not free because you're paying for it. I've tried to tell these Canadians that. They don't listen. They'll say, you don't get free healthcare like we do, eh? I say, you don't get free healthcare either. If they believe that, that would show gross ignorance. But the good thing about ignorance, it doesn't have to last. You can learn, you can educate yourself, you can, or you can like agree to be educated. Then now there's something called willful ignorance, where you just choose not to learn. Well, that's on you. So you're culpable there. How do I know about these bourbons? How do I know about the age statement? How do I know about the? Well, I learned. Okay, I learned. Do I know? Is there a lot more I need to learn or could learn? Yeah, a whole lot more. I hear the U.S. talking about the U.S. government. I hear the U.S. mail. They always losing money. The mail, the postal service always losing money. They don't make a profit. It's not a for-profit business. Should it be amended? Should the Constitution be amended and it turned over to a private entity or whoever wants to do it? Yeah, probably. Okay, the aroma, sweet corn, little oak, little vanilla from the oak. Damn. Hold on a second. Phone calls. Can't relax. You just can't relax. Should have put it on silent. Broke my concentration. Sweet corn, vanilla. I was trying to say the vanilla from the oak, and yeah, you can tell it was AT&T, huh? And yeah, dried fruitcake, fruit type thing. It's like all the stereotypical bourbon things, and I say this all the time. Sweet corn, candy corn, sugar water when it get tasted. It smells like vanilla, which is they don't have vanilla added, but it's got like that vanilla thing coming from the oak wood, charred oak. You'll sometimes get char if it's like a real heavy char, and then you get some kind of like is weird like those freeze dry, not freeze dried, like those dehydrated fruit cake fruit. You can buy them in a Mylar bag at the grocery store. I never made fruit cake, but you'll see them, and it'll be like some of it will be the mix. It'll be all mixed together. You can just use it together, like the cherries and all. You can just put it in the bag, take it out the bag, and put it in the fruit cake. Oops, actually, so it smelled like that. Now, Maxwell says, "Hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell, in the Russian Federation." Now, these are going to be so similar because they both golden. They're both aged 4 years, and you could tell it's a light char. I'm going to mix them up again just to be sure. It's a light char, and it's if it was a heavy char, it'd be more like copper color, darker. Now, does the aging make them darker? No. No, it doesn't. They're going to get dark by the char level. They're going to suck up that color like in the first year or less. So the aging will mellow them out, might bring in some more interesting qualities or whatever, but the char level is going to make the color, the tint, heavy char, deep copper. Fairly heavy char, not as deep copper. Lighter char be gold, and then the lightest char level, number one, they got 4 levels, 1, 2, 3, 4. The number one be very light, pale like these. So do they both smell nice? Yeah. Are they fantastic? Like, oh, this is extraordinary bourbon. I can't believe it. How is the weather? It's hot, fairly humid. But these are nice. They're nice. It's hard to get a bad bourbon. I've never had a bad bourbon because the requirements are fairly strict. So I don't know how you would make a bad one, but I guess if you try it hard enough, but then why would you want to do that, right? I've had bourbons that are less good than others, right? Not bad, just some that are less good than others. All right, so that's nice. Corn, sweet corn, light char. Everything's light. Would that appeal to some people? Well, yeah, sure. It'll probably appeal to millions of people because think about how many people drink light beer. It's got very little taste, but they love it, Or light wine, like White Zinfandel, very denuded in flavor, but they love it. And light uh, alcohol. Light. There's nothing wrong with it. Like we're making moral judgments like, well, if you drink lighter products, something's wrong with you. No, there's nothing wrong with them. They just don't like it heavy. Like people say, oh, those people in that area of the country, they eat all that bland food. They don't want any spice in their food. They don't want it really hot. No, okay, well, they don't like it like that. I'm pretty sure they're up there in that state eating their food and they're happy with the food. And they might look down on you and say, well, what's wrong with those people? They got to eat everything super fiery hot. What are they trying to mask or hide? So we oftentimes interpret an opinion about something or a personal preference as being like a objective good or bad. It isn't. You say, yeah, but some things are objectively bad and objectively good. Yeah, that's right. We can make evaluations upon that. I'm talking about taking opinions or personal preference with food products and all and making an aspersion as bad or something. Yeah, I'm getting a little char here, a little vanilla, a little oak, like all the standard things. Are these basic bourbons? Yeah, they're basic. That's why they were so cheap. But they're just basic. You say, well, how do you? Well, you keep saying that. I know. I don't know how else to describe them. They're just elementary. You know what that means, basic. Okay, so they're just standard, or even if you want to say substandard, I guess you could describe them that way. I didn't pour too much. I'll tell you right now. That's why they're gone. Corn grits, light char, light body, relatively light body, medium finish. It's fine, it's fine. Are they designed for sipping? Well, I guess. I don't know what they're designed for, but they're designed for whatever use you want to have with them, I suppose. Are there people satisfied with these products? I don't know the sales performance of either one of these. I know that Jethro Tea Boot's been on the shelves at CVS Pharmacy for 8 years. My impression does fine. It's not like flying off the shelves, not like Crown Royal selling hundreds of bottles every hour. Maybe it's more like dozens every month. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but it's worth their while. It's just a minimal thing. Fine. What about the Winn-Dixie bourbon? I never had that, but I think they do pretty well with it. Seems like there's people always buying it, and it comes in the big handles. Those big plastic. It's like they got a handle on the back, but you got to grab it like that. It's like that kind of handle. It's not really a handle. It's like a grabber, but nobody calls them grabbers. Yeah, it's probably fine because it's probably it's coming from Sazerac. It's probably the same sort of thing, except it's just aged 3 years instead of 4 or longer. If I made videos for Winn-Dixie straight bourbon whiskey, would some people watch them? Yeah, some people would watch it. I mean, not a lot. The audience would be minimal. It's like with these products, it's not like I'm going to score a lot of views. So if my whole goal on this channel was to get views, chase subs and get views, I wouldn't be doing these 2 products. No way. You know what I'd be running behind? I'd be running behind all the big boys. Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, Evan Williams, Ezra Brooks even. That's pretty big. Knob Creek, Maker's Mark, and so forth. I've never even in my life tasted Knob Creek or Maker's Mark. Barely tasted Four Roses. Now, I mean, I'm not making a statement like jealousy or something saying, oh, woe is me. No, I chose to buy these obscure products. No one forced this on me. It's like I'm putting everything on hold for I don't even know why I'm doing it. Because I could be rolling in the people, with the Knob Creek, like I said, in the Four Roses in George Dickel new 8-year age bourbon. So I don't know. I can't explain it. I guess it's just like I wanted to try them. I just said I want to try them, and it's not some sort of like idiosyncratic situation in the sense that it's like, oh, I want to intentionally isolate myself with these products and be under the radar and be on like hidden in plain sight, something like that. It's not like that, because I'm always thinking I want to get to the Knob Creek. I want to get to the Maker's Mark. I want to get to all of those. I just don't ever seem to make any traction and get there. So then I'm getting a little handful of people saying, oh, yeah, what about this product? And that's fine. It's just, like I said, I don't even know why. I can't explain it. But I'm going to work through the tournament, and I'm going to eventually, I feel like ultimately I can't cover everything. I can't. But my thinking is that eventually I will get through a big chunk of it. So I'm going to say that really the flavors are nearly identical here. If you're looking for big flavor advantages or disadvantages between Bellows and Jethro Tea Boots, it's not going to happen. We're talking about 98% similar and 2% different. Did the sour mash thing seem to make a big difference? No. So it's going to be tough. I think this is the Boots by virtue of its slightly little bit more caramel. What am I saying? Candy corn thing. Not too much char, but it's so small. But I got it, and I was basing it on that. And that was a little tiny clue hidden somewhere in the haystack, and I found the needle in the haystack. Tommy Carroll says, cheers, Louisiana Beer Reviews. Louisiana LBR, Louisiana Bourbon Reviews. Enjoyed your review of the Beast, Milwaukee's Beast Ice. Oh, thank you. It was a great hangout. It was so fun, and the beer is so good. That's the best part about it. It's like you're having a good time. You're talking about the product. We're all taking turns speaking. We're not interrupting each other. It's not somebody trying to dominate the conversation with some drunken rambling insanity, And then the most advantageous part of it is that the product is really good. Milwaukee's Best Ice is really good. It tastes so good. Now you might say, oh, that's junk. That's trash. That's garbage. That's filth. Well, it's none of those things, and I don't know why you would be so like obsessed with that. But some people are. They like cuckoo with all that. Although most people are normal, they just normal in that sense that they just say, well, I don't care what other people drink. They like it. Let them drink it, which is my attitude. That was always my attitude. It's just I was kind of like a beer apostle in the late 90s. A beer apostle meaning that I was trying all these new type of beers, right? Like, oh, this is a stout. This is a porter. This is an American pale ale. This is an India pale ale. This is an extra special bitter. And this is a brown ale and all of these things, And so I was like, oh, wow. And I was trying to get my family members and friends like, try this, try that. And they were like, no, we don't. They had no interest in it. And they would never want to do it. So I was like, why can't you open your eyes? Why don't you want to try this? But they just wouldn't. And then I just gave up. So, well, who cares if they drink it? If they want to drink Bud Light or Miller Lite all the time and they love it, it's fine with me. Now, if somebody was bringing beer to me saying, try this stuff, try that. It's incredible. Give it a chance. I would do it, but then maybe I have a curiosity that other people don't have. I don't know. But I gave up on that two decades ago. And then my next door neighbors are kind of like tried it again. Say, y'all try this. It was a waste of time. They weren't interested. They just didn't care. They just did not care. It's like with all these liquors. You think they want to try? They don't even want to drink any liquor. Well, that's fine. You know, you never want to pressure somebody to do that, of course. But I guess we just have our little community. You know, mostly it's online people. My friend David and all, and we just interact about it, and we just don't worry if other people are satisfied to to just eat and drink those little particular products, and that's fine. All right, so what's coming up the next time? I'll tell you what it's going to be. It's going to be Jethro T. Boots. Going to be Jethro T. Boots versus Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon. But it's the 2-year age. I don't have the 3-year age. That's the main one. The one that you'll normally see is the 3-year age. But I stumbled upon the 2-year age, which may or may not be produced any longer. Probably not produced. But I found it at, you guessed it, Savannah Discount, and I got, you guessed it, a liter, and I paid $5.99. Wasn't it? I'm sorry, $7.99. $7.99. Wasn't cheap like this one here. $5.99 for a liter. Still, that's extraordinarily low. $7.99 for a liter of bourbon whiskey. I have no predictions. I really don't know what's going to happen with Jesse James, America's Outlaw Bourbon, 2-year age versus Jethro T. Boots. But I think it's going to be a great battle. It's going to be a great battle nonetheless. So the winner here, there's no winner. There's no winner because, I mean, in my case, the winner is Bellows because I paid $5.99 for the liter. So yeah, it's a winner in my case. But if you go find this, just do an online search. Go look it up. Specs in Texas or whoever else has it. Benny's in Chicago, they'll have it probably, but it won't be $5.99 a liter. Maybe $11.99. So yeah, but in my case, this is the winner by virtue of price, not by taste, because the taste is a wash. You, Bubba, says Panthers rule. You to you in North Carolina. And college football started this evening, and we all excited. So, well, it already started last week. I mean, of course, but it's really getting geared up tonight. So we all excited. And so I got it right. So now I got 2 wins and 2 losses. So I'm feeling better. 2 wins, 2 losses on this tournament. Now, when I bring in the Jesse James, I think I'm going to win. Don't know, but I think I will. It'll be 3-2. And then we're just going to keep on winning and winning and winning and winning and winning. Go Clemson Tigers. Well, they're probably going to have a great season. Last year was a little off, you know, a little bit down, but those things happen. All right. Thanks, everybody. Y'all take care now.